what's up everybody? This is Dom, and today we are taking a look at iRig keys. This is the brand new keyboard controller from IK Multimedia, and it works with iPhone, iPod Touch, iPad, Mac, and PC. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at it, and we will set it up with the iPad here just so I can demo it for everybody. So this is the box that it comes in. You can see the keyboard right here and its various buttons and functionalities. And this actually has a 30-pin connector at the moment, so if you would like to use this with the 4th generation iPad, iPad mini, or iPhone 5, you're going to need one of these little guys, which is the adapter for those devices. So let's go ahead and open it up and get into the box. As you can see here on the back, we just have the various uses, a big list of the functionalities here for the buttons, but we'll take a look at all that when we get it opened up here. There's also a few apps that work with iRig keys right out of the box, but it is a portable MIDI controller, so it will work with any MIDI enabled app on the App Store. We have a tab on the side here. Let's open it up. And there you go, you can see the iRig keys right there in front of us. We have a connector cable and another USB cable here, so let's put those aside and get this out. Alright, so before we get into the keyboard here, let's take a look at all the stuff that comes with it. We have a registration card here with the serial number on it. We also do have a nice little IK Multimedia manual. We have a nice little registration card for Sample Tank 2L, and we have some free sounds for Sample Tank and iGrand Piano, which is another app that they make as well. This is a quick start guide. You can read this if you'd like. I recommend it. Here we have a little USB cable, and I only assume that this is to connect the iRig keys to a computer. And then here we have our 30-pin cable. This can be a problem if you have a newer device, but if you have the Apple Lightning to 30-pin adapter, you can just plug it in like that. So luckily we have that for those other devices, but this will work just fine for the 3rd generation iPad, which is what we're going to test this on. And here we have the main event. This is iRig keys, and it is definitely a MIDI controller. It's got a comparable build quality to any other MIDI controller that I've used. On the back of the iRig keys, we do have a port for a pedal, and then we have the iOS controller port, which actually plugs in right here, and then you can plug in your 30-pin cable into your iOS device. Then on the other side here, we do also have a USB port for a computer as well. Let me just give you a close-up overview of all the controls here. So you see we have our volume and data wheel. We also do have iOS and USB connection lights. Looks like we have some preset buttons, some octave buttons here, and then some program buttons. Then we have various functions on the keyboard to set up the keyboard in specific ways. And this is all pretty standard stuff for MIDI controllers. If you've ever used one or seen one, you'll probably feel right at home with iRig keys, and that's the great part about it. Like I said here, we do have a mod and pitch wheel on the side. I realize that iRig keys is just a standard MIDI controller, but I do appreciate the fact that they implemented an iOS port here for direct connection to iOS devices. No hassles, nothing like that, and I'm pretty sure it'll just work right out of the box. So let's go ahead and reconfigure the camera here, and we're gonna go hook it up to the iPad and test it out. Alright, so here we are in the iGrand Piano app, where, as you can hear, we have, piano right here, and we can sort through these different style pianos and select one and get the sound from that piano. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook up the iRig keys here, and we're gonna see if it just flawlessly works right out of the box. We have our cable right here, so we have to plug one end into our iPad and one end into the iRig keys unit. And then we're going to take the other end and plug it into the iPad. And this will draw power from the iPad, and we have a light that turned on right here on the top. And as you can hear, it does work just right out of the box, no settings or anything like that. We do have our octave buttons right here where we can shift up the octave. And then we have some programming buttons, and we do have a bunch of different functions here. It's basically any other MIDI controller you've ever used, but it works perfectly with iOS devices. And we have our volume knob right here, which works perfect. So this is iRig keys, and I think it's probably the coolest iOS MIDI controller I've ever got to play with. It is kind of big, but it does fit and work in most situations. And also it works with a plethora of different applications that support core MIDI. So I would go check it out. It's iRig keys. It's $99, and I'll drop some links down in the description below. Let me know what you think about this. Is this something that you would buy? I'm more of a musical guy, but I think this can be used for many different other types of situations, especially those who would like to learn how to play a keyboard but don't want to spend all the high costs involved in buying an expensive MIDI controller or an expensive keyboard. So thanks again for watching, everybody. This is Dom with iRig Keys, and have a great day.